I was 32, I thought I was pregnant, so I went to the doctor to get checked out, and I thought I was 4 months pregnant, and the doctor, after examining me, said, well, you're 4 months pregnant with something. Not the best bedside manner, but within about a week I was in surgery to remove a gigantic fibroid tumor, not uncommon, but I bled to death on the operating table, and for about 2 minutes. And at that moment, my life changed in uncountable ways. I had an out-of-body experience. I went to the corner of the operating room and looked down on my filleted body, bleeding to death. I lost all my blood. And as I said, I died, and I was watching myself be resuscitated from the corner of the room. I did not realize this until about a year later, but I would come to see that that's actually what happened to me. And while I was in the corner of the room looking down on my body, blood everywhere, I said, I don't want to go back. And a voice, a male voice, to this day I don't know who was talking to me, but the voice said, you're not done yet. You have much work to do, and you have a baby at home. I had a 2-year-old son. So I argued with the voice, of course, that's me, combative with everything. And I said, I don't want to go back, and the voice said, it's not your choice, you have to go now. So I went back into my body, I was saved, they finished up suturing me, and about maybe 6 or 8 months later, I started having dreams, very vivid dreams about what had happened to me. And I, being the journalist that I was, I guess once you are, you're always that person. But anyway, I went and interviewed the doctors who had done the surgery. And I said, did you say this to me while I was bleeding? Did you say this? Was this happening? I had it verified by 3 different doctors. Said, yes, we were yelling at you to stop bleeding. And we couldn't get you back, and we were frantic. And I said, and so they confirmed in real life, in real time, what I had been through. I don't know why I didn't die that day, but I do know that I turned my career into sort of a mission to, when you have a TV camera and people know who you are, and back in the day, King and Como and Cairo, you called, they return your calls. I mean, you can pretty much have access to anybody. So I used the camera to help people without a voice. I looked for those kinds of stories and anything that was weird and wacky and wonderful to balance out the crazies that I had to deal with. Murderers, child molesters, all the, the really broken people in our world. I had empathy for them. I had empathy for a child killer who I met and stayed friends with. He's still incarcerated at Walla Walla. So I have empathy, and I think it awakened that part of me that was arrogant and cocky from being a young reporter. So time passes, I recover, and the voice that said, you're not done yet, this is not your time, would ring true for me over many years, over these last many decades. And when I was transfused in 1982 at Group Health, I was transfused with HIV blood. I think that story's in I forget what's in the book exactly about that, but I got a letter from Group Health a year later saying, you need to be checked. Your blood was contaminated with, the virus didn't even have a name back then. But I was the only one to survive of all the people who were transfused with that blood. So I became a study at Harborview Medical Center. We have to study what blood does she have? How did she resist that? But I was lucky, and I've always been lucky with somehow it wasn't my time. And I've met that, I'm a survivor of kidney cancer. I got lucky. those are other stories. But anyway, the really important thing that I want to say here is it completely changed my life. I don't think you can go through something like that without it affecting you in some way. Some people don't want to deal with it. Being the journalist, I wanted to know more. After I came to realize what happened to me, that there is another way of being in this world and other worlds that await us. So once you know that, you can't, it opened me up to be more empathetic, more, I think, not necessarily kinder to everybody, because I went after some pretty rough people in my career. But I became deeply spiritual. The best lesson I've learned after all my crazy life is humility. I am no better than the homeless person on the street. My father taught me that. But you live it. You have to live it yourself and believe it yourself. And so you can get pretty arrogant as a television news reporter. I've met many of them. And I was too. I think you get cocky. I mean, you just think, I'm important. Well, I'm not important. I'm no less or more important than you. We are the same. We are all connected. And I've also learned, being in nature with the horse ranch, every tree, every flower, every water, we are all connected. I hope it's not too late.